So this video is about why do you have to count your calories a little bit on a raw food diet? Why is it so easy to undereat on a raw food diet? And I think that the the argument about this diet is often that it's natural. It's the diet that your body's adapted to eat, that it's a natural diet or species specific diet. So it would make sense that you would think, well, what should happen is that when you go towards that diet, then everything just kind of falls into place. And all your habits and things, your natural instincts, sorry, will kick in, and you'll be able to sense what food you should eat and what time you should eat it, and everything will be great like that. And it doesn't work that way, quite frankly. It doesn't work that way. And I think it comes down to learning a little bit about hunger and appetite, because as most human beings, what are they eating and how are they eating, and what stimulates them to eat? Well, it's kind of hard to say because people are eat so addictively and compulsively, and we get kind of stimulated to eat by all sorts of different cues, and we might even eat during the night, and maybe we couldn't have eaten during the night a long time ago, and there's all sorts of different things in place that make it hard to really say um, whether people are really, or what is really making people eat, and is it really hunger? Because there's hunger, which is a desire to eat because you're hungry, and there's appetite, which is just eating out of habit, stimulation, memory, sort of being stimulated by your environment and the food being there, and and that's something that's in like nutrition textbooks and stuff, the difference between hunger and appetite. But when people are on cooked food and other diets, the feeling of hunger kind of comes in the stomach. It's a hunger pain, right? It's a pain. And a really interesting point made by Doug Graham in the 80-10-10 diet book is that you should never feel uncomfortable in your body. That was a really profound statement that he said. You should never feel uncomfortable in your body. And this hunger pain thing is a weird kind of uncomfortable, painful feeling that you're trying to get rid of with eating. And that's what people respond to as hunger. When we go on a raw food diet, that hunger pain disappears. And it's one of the kind of magic things about this diet that makes you realize how different it is as a diet and a lifestyle. You don't get that feeling. You don't tend to get that heavy stomach feeling of filling your stomach with all this food and it gets really heavy and it just sits there. You don't get that either. So there's a lot of different feelings that disappear, and then you have to create a new relationship with really your body and your appetite and your hunger, and you have to sense it in a different way. So a lot of people that start off, they go on just fruit, or they just start eating they just start going fruitarian or whatever, and they get to that point where they don't have any hunger pain, and then they basically think, well, they eat kind of a little bit throughout the day or whatever, and they're not eating enough. They eat some fruit and then they don't feel like eating anymore, and I think and they end up under eating, and I think it's almost inevitable that you will undereat on this diet at first. It's almost inevitable. Like, I've never seen people the fruit really is so satisfying as a food. It really does stop your desire to eat very quickly, especially for people that are not used to it, that people will undereat almost predictably, which is why we see people lose weight a lot, and why you see a lot of ex-vegans and stuff saying, oh, I was fruitarian, I was losing weight. They just weren't eating enough calories and they were losing weight. It's just a very simple equation. But what you have to do is get used to the idea that you have to sense your need for food or your hunger for food based on being aware of like your own energy levels, your focus, your function. Do you start to feel yourself getting a little bit kind of irritable, like things are on top of you, whatever, stressed or whatever? That might be a sign that you're not eating enough. And I seem to think about it like if you're not quite, you can feel it more in not being clear, not having energy. Sometimes you just like, man, I just want to sit on the couch and do nothing. Sometimes that's not tiredness. That's like you've just not eaten enough food, and it doesn't tend to happen to people on other diets because they're eating kind of compulsively or addictively, so they never like miss a meal accidentally or stuff like that. Um, so it's one of the things you have to learn on a raw food diet is to work out how much you need to eat and retrain your body. And I was speaking to Chris Kendall about this, and he says that he now eats 2 meals a day, and one meal is like 18 or 20 bananas, and the other meal is fruit and salad. And that's very similar to how Doug Graham eats as well, and Grant Campbell, and a bunch of other people, not a bunch of other men, I guess, not, I think some of the raw food women maybe eat in a slightly different way, but they've got it down to sort of 2 meals a day. I think Ted might have been the same, I'm not sure. And a big banana meal often is a big staple for people, and then fruit and salad at night. And but he was saying that at first he couldn't eat more than maybe 6 bananas or 5 bananas, which is normal. At first you won't be able to eat that much fruit, and you won't be able to eat that much fruit, but you will be able to. Well, no, sorry, I'm losing my track a little bit. You won't be able to eat that much fruit, but over time you do. Over time, and it's the natural reaction is to eat something sweet, and then you're like, oh, that's me had enough sweetness or whatever. And what also contributes to all that is, if you've got a lot of fat in your bloodstream and everything from your previous diet, your blood sugar is probably going to rise a lot faster and a lot more, and will kind of cut off your appetite a lot quicker and that kind of thing. And as you progress a little bit more as a fruit eater, you won't get that so much, and you'll be able to eat a lot more, and you'll be able to eat much bigger meals. And it's really satisfying when you eat a really big fruit meal. Really satisfying. It's like you feel great, you feel full and satisfied, like you don't want to eat. It's a very rare feeling. Most people never feel it in their life. It's a real feeling of satisfaction. And I think you always have to train yourself to get to that point where you know how to eat enough. And usually in our life we've probably been told not to eat too much fruit and not to eat too much sweet things, and to just have a little bit. And it's expensive, so maybe your parents told you not to eat too much fruit. Anyway, the kind of strategy to make all this work is you have to work out how many calories that you require. You have to work out how many calories that you require. And sorry, the reason I'm losing focus, I'm getting little messages popping up on my screen and stuff from people. But the reason, what am I saying? The reason you have to do that is because it'll give you a good benchmark of how much to eat. So you work out how many calories you need. You can use the Harris-Benedict equation. And if you're losing weight, then you can set it to your ideal weight so that you can slightly undereat till you get down to your ideal weight. But you set that, you find that, and then you have to look at how to create a raw food diet that will meet those calories and that you can actually do. And bananas are going to be a very helpful tool in that. And you might want to make bananas like 50%, 70% of your diet. Starting off, you don't have to do it forever, but just to make it easy for you at first. And the mathematics is easy, because if you need 2,500 calories, you can go, okay, well, if I have 15 bananas, then that's 1,500 calories. Then I've got 1,000 more, and I can get that from, 5 mangoes and a salad with an avocado and some grapes or something like that, or whatever, And then you can work out, okay, that's That'll be enough for the day, and then you can plan that over a time. But really, making sure you have enough calories, getting enough bananas being like the best way of doing it. You know, getting a lot of calories. So you won't hear this from Robert Morse if you're coming from the Robert Morse side of things, and I don't like hate Robert Morse. I just don't think that his priority is teaching people a long term lifestyle. He's teaching people how to do short term, a fruit fast to get rid of particular problems and conditions, which is is his thing, and he deals with people that are sick and things like that. But if you then decide you want to do it as a lifestyle, you should really move over to the Doug Graham information, the 8 to 10 10, the people that are doing that. That's how to do the lifestyle. That's people like obviously Doug Graham doing it for 30 years or whatever, but Chris Kendall doing it for 15 years, Grant Campbell over 10 years, Rosalind Graham, Fully Raw Christina doing it for I think maybe 15 years as well. So these are people that have done it long term, and banana meal, big calorie meal, fruit meal, big salad at night. These are common things that we see again and again. And they all will know roughly how much they need and how to do that and everything. So you might not want to do that little bit of planning. If you want some help with it, I would be happy to do some coaching with you if you like. And I'm happy to send you some information about what that might involve. Or if you want to come to the UK Fruit Fest, fruitfest.co.uk, you can have a look at the information there, and you will learn a lot by coming to that event about how to eat enough and successfully thrive on a vegan raw food diet. So thank you very much for watching. As ever, if you found it helpful, you can click the like button. You can leave your comment below, share the thing if you like, and I'll see you in another video.